This is the Narmer palette. Discovered in 1897 by Egyptologists, this palette was a celebratory piece commemorating the king Narmer, who rose to prominence when he unified Upper and Lower Egypt. This palette is dated by over 5,000 years and is arguably the single greatest discovery in all of Egyptology. While King Tut's tomb may be more sensationalized in the modern memory, King Tut himself was not a very powerful figure and died before he could accomplish anything significant. Narmer, on the other hand, is arguably the single most important figure in all of Egyptian history. He was the man who unified Egypt. Egypt before Narmer was one that was divided between two states. One was Upper Egypt and one was Lower Egypt. Narmer unified the two states into what would become the Egyptian kingdom, starting the long list of pharaohs. On the palette, you can see him wearing two crowns, one on the front side and one on the back side. The crowns represent Upper and Lower Egypt. Narmer wearing both of the crowns represents that he was successful in his wars and was able to unify the country. And as you can see on the left-hand side, he is defeating his enemy, a king named Wash. Wash is of unclear origin, but he was almost certainly another city-state ruler who was defeated by Narmer, and his defeat may have been the last one that unified Egypt, which would have detailed the commemoration in the palette. On the other side, you can see a procession of Egyptians with Narmer out at the back, but he is the tallest figure to signify his importance. And at the bottom of the palette, you can see that there is twin heads intertwined together, again representing the unity of Egypt. This palette is the single greatest discovery, as not only does it give credence to when Egypt may have been unified, but also names potentially the first pharaoh. Narmer means stinging catfish. While an odd name for a pharaoh, keep in mind that for the Egyptians, it was maybe not so odd. They saw catfishes as being quite ferocious predators, so calling someone a stinging catfish may have not been such a bad idea at the time. Narmer would go on to rule a unified Egypt and start the precedent that would continue for the next 3,000 years until Egyptian pharaonic society collapsed and it was taken over by Roman imperial rule. This palette is the single greatest artifact, in my opinion, to come out of Egypt. Not only does it commemorate a great victory of Narmer, it also shows when Egypt was potentially unified by dating it. So now, not only can we have an idea of who the first pharaoh was, but we can also have an idea of when Egypt was a unified country.